Dick Van Dyke Show. Starring Dick Van Dyke. Rosemary, Maury Amsterdam, Larry Matthews, and Mary Tyler Moore.
Hello, Dick Van Dyke Show friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is KJ Ricardo. Today's episode is a biography and tribute video to Rosemary. Today is a celebration of Rosemary's birthday. So we're going to be honoring her by looking at her biography, looking at her career and her personal life. So let's get started. We know who Rosemary is. She played Sally Rogers on the Dick Van Dyke Show, but she was much more than that role. She had a really long career in show business. So let's get started on her biography. She was born Rosemary Mazzetta on August 15, 1923 in New York City, and she passed away on December 28, 2017. At the age of 3, Rosemary began performing under the nickname Baby Rosemary. When she was 5, she became a radio star on NBC, and she became a silent film star. That's amazing. She was only 3 years old when she started her career, and she became a star when she was 5. She even had her own radio show as a child star, which ran from 1929 to 1934. She recorded numerous records and continued to appear in silent films and other films throughout the mid-1930s. Her recording of Say That You Were Teasing Me was a national hit. And she was only 9 years old at the time that she recorded that. And so she was a child star when she was 9 and from 3 to 9. So just like Shirley Temple, Rosemary defined what it really was to be a child star. She was one of the original child stars, which I don't think a lot of people know that about her. As Rose grew older, she began appearing in nightclubs and did lounge performances. She was assisted by Al Capone and Bugsy Siegel, and she was loyal to the two men, the boys as she called them. She was loyal to them for the rest of her life. As she grew older, she continued to work in the radio industry, and she got a new nickname, Darling of the Airwaves. So she was moving away from the Baby Rose nickname and establishing her career as an adult. In the 1950s, she transitioned into live theater, and she appeared in Top Banana in 1951, and she was in the film adaptation in 1954. Now here's something interesting. Rose's musical numbers were cut from the film because she publicly accused and refused the producer's sexual advances toward her during the production of that film. She refused it, and so her musical numbers were cut from the film. In 2017, shortly before her death, Rosemary spoke out about this and said that this was the only time she ever experienced something like that in her 90-year career in show business. In the 1950s, Rosemary transitioned into television. She appeared as a guest star in a variety of TV shows, and this includes The Red Skelton Hour with Red Skelton, as well as Gunsmoke, a very memorable episode, and then The Bob Cummings Show, and she was in 24 episodes of the show My Sister Eileen. But she's best remembered, as we know, for playing Sally Rogers on the Dick Van Dyke Show. We love Sally. Personally, she's one of my favorite characters. She's witty, smart. She's always on the hunt for a man to date. She's so talented. Her singing is just phenomenal. And she was overall a great friend. Rosemary sometimes steals the scene whenever she's on the show. She just has comedic timing in her radiance. I mean, you just gotta love her. After the Dick Van Dyke Show ended in 1966, Rose co-starred with Doris Day in 2 seasons of the Doris Day Show. She played Myrna Gibbons, Doris Martin's friend and co-worker. She was great on this show, and so she continued to work in television. And then later in her career, Rosemary was a semi-regular on the original version of the Hollywood Squares, and she was very memorable. A lot of people talk about her appearance on the Hollywood Squares. Her career kind of slowed down a bit in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but she never stopped working. She appeared with Dean Martin on his show, and she did a variety of other guest star spots on television shows. And this includes SWAT, and she had a regular role as Frank Fontana's mother in the 90s show Murphy Brown. So she truly, really had a career that spanned 90 years. From the time she was 3 years old to 90 years old, she was truly a one-of-a-kind performer. Looking at her personal life, she was married once to Bobby Guy. She got married in 1946. He was a trumpeter, and they were married until his unexpected death in 1964. After his death, Rosemary wore her very signature black hair bow on the Dick Van Dyke Show, and she wore this throughout the rest of her career. This bow was to honor her husband because he always loved the way she looked with a bow, and that is true love right there. And they had one daughter, Georgiana, nicknamed Noopy. In 1972, Rose began a very publicly and purely platonic social relationship with theater manager Vince Miranda. They were colleagues and friends, and that's just it. They were friends. It was purely platonic. During her old age, Rosemary remained very active on social media. She made posts encouraging girls to defend themselves in a male-dominated society, sharing her life stories, and she was just very inspirational and very friendly on social media. A documentary about her life called Wait for Your Laugh was released in 2017, and Rosemary was very proud of the project. She loved it, and you could tell from the way that she talked about it on social media, and I still need to watch it. And unfortunately, on December 28, 2017, Rosemary died at her home in California from natural causes. She was 94 years old. It was very devastating, but her legacy will always live on. And that's it. That's all I have for you with her biography. I love Rosemary. She's very inspirational to me, and I think she's inspirational to many people. She had a 90-year career in show business, and I think a lot of people don't realize that, don't know that about her. Well, you should know that. She was really one of the first child stars to ever exist, and she stayed in show business right up until her death. And so we really have to appreciate her a lot. Let me know what your favorite thing about Rosemary is. Put that in a comment. What did you learn in this video? Let me know, and I would love to read that. And now I'm concluding this video with a little tribute montage I made about Rosemary's life. So sit back and enjoy.
You're gonna lose your gal, don't lose your pal. Acting like a mean old lover, keep your kisses undercover. You'll wake up and soon discover you're gonna lose your gal. Gonna rant away, gonna get that way. How can you be so conceited? Take my heart and then mistreat it. You can't have your cake and eat it. You're gonna lose your gal, and when I'm gone, I will come back.
once long ago that someday I'd have a lot of dough and a sable or a mink. I'd have settled for rabbit, I think. But now those dreams are gone. With time they've drifted away. If I only had one wish to make, this is what I am wishing today. I wish I could sing like Durante. Jimmy's got the voice I love. I wish I could hit those high notes. That's the one that I'm speaking of. I wish I could sing. That's a little too loud, fellas. Hold it. Hold it, fellas. Will you keep it down? It's a little too loud.
A lot of young women come over to me lots of times and said, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't become a writer. You made me become a writer.
Hi, Sally. Hi. Here's a plastic spaceship for Richie and a 5-pound box of candy for you, and let's not waste any more time. Where is he? How do you do? I'm Sally Rogers. Are you still single? Hi. I'll say hello to you two later. Where's this tall, good-looking, charming priest you want to meet? Here we go. I'm Gilbert.
I'm Solomon. I'm Solomon.
I'm Gilbert.
When we are on, believe me, you won't sleep.
I'm Gilbert.
I'm Solomon. I'm Solomon.
I'm Gilbert.
We're working here because we're working cheap. We'll make a deal with all you folks. Here's all you have to do.
Don't tell us so. You saw us here.
Yeah, we won't tell them we saw you.
Hey, I'm Gilbert.
I'm Solomon.
I'm Gilbert.
I'm Gilbert. Hooray for the USA!
Be around to see how she does it when she breaks your heart to bits. Let's see if the puzzle fits so fine. And that's when I'll discover that revenge is sweet, as I sit there applauding from a front row seat. When somebody breaks your heart like you broke mine.
The nicest compliments I've ever gotten was Carl told me that Sheldon said to him, you want the best for this part? Get Rosemary. And then after the show was over, Carl sent me a wire and he said Sheldon was right. I'm very happy with the life I've had. I'm only sorry I wish I could live it over again. Wow. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. The whole thing was wonderful.